Chelsea have just got to stop buying players. And players have got to stop signing for Chelsea.
Chelsea has become a strange club. Ever since Boehly and Clearlake took over, I bet you no one knows exactly what the big picture is. Even more strange is their approach to transfers. Whether it's flying a player in upon agreeing terms only to return the player for another one, or not knowing what to do exactly with Conor Gallagher. But what stands out to me in all this is that they seem to be spending more than everyone, yet they are still able to circumvent the perils of PSR. Chelsea has spent over $1 billion on players since May 2022, yet the likes of Everton, Nottingham Forest, and Newcastle are the guys paying the price in relation to financial fair play. This has created a narrative that the big boys get to walk for flouting the rules, whereas everyone else gets punished. But the fact is, Chelsea and many other Premier League clubs, especially the big boys like City and Arsenal, have resorted to a strategy that allows them to fly close to the sun without getting burnt. But you see, there's something that Chelsea and these big clubs are doing that no one is noticing. These guys are playing 4D chess, and I would like you to follow me on this one. In a press conference during Chelsea's US preseason tour, Maresca said something strange when they asked him if he was concerned about Chelsea academy players leaving the club. He was like, "This is not a Chelsea problem. These are the rules. All the clubs are compelled to sell players from the academy because of the rules. It's all of the Premier League clubs' problems." But what I find strange about this comment is that he makes it sound as if Chelsea are being forced by the rules in quote to sell their academy players, of which I completely disagree with. First of all, Newcastle wants to sign Boehly, and if that should happen, about 75% of their potential starting lineup in a back four defense will be made up of Chelsea academy products. And we are talking Guehi, Lewis Hall, and Tino Livramento. Meanwhile, in the last 3 years, Chelsea has spent over £265 million on defensive reinforcements who are not marginally better than what they've sold from their academy, looking at their performance as of today. And so it begs the question, who is Maresca criticizing here? It can't be PSR or the rule makers. Neither is it the hand that feeds him. I'll say he's actually opening up a can of worms and drawing people's attention, including PSR regulators, on why teams like Chelsea are able to stay clear of PSR sanctions. The secret is that when you sell an academy player, you do not bear any amortization costs. Whatever money you make from that sale is pure profit. And amortization cost here is a fancy accounting term which describes the process of deducting portions of an asset's total cost. In this case, a player's total cost over the lifespan of their contract. Let's say you sign a player for £65 million. The club will spread the cost over years on their books. Therefore, if they eventually sell the player in future, the proceeds are used to offset the amortization cost, and what is left is profit. This can leave clubs with thin profit margins, thereby affecting their PSR requirements. And what are the PSR requirements, you may ask? The key rule is that clubs are not permitted to lose more than £105 million over a 3-year cycle. Now, this rule is not new. It's been around for a while, just that the inflated transfer market has all of a sudden made it relevant. For this reason, it makes selling academy players lucrative. And for a team like Chelsea, selling academy players is also an approach that is ripe to circumvent PSR regulations because they can record 100% profit from their sales and use the proceeds to wipe amortization costs of bad transfers. So for Maresca to respond like that, he has to take a good look at the unlimited influx of players at his disposal and view the exodus of their academy players as a solution to their voracious recruitment rather than a problem. I'm not taking a dig at Chelsea. A lot of teams are doing it. Arsenal sold Emil Smith-Rowe for £27 million to cushion their expenses. Newcastle, who are borderline constrained by PSR, have sold Elliot Anderson for £35 million to Nottingham Forest in exchange to help fund the transfer of Odysseus Vlachodimos. City sold 2 academy players for a combined £25 million to offset the cost of Savinho. A weird transfer given that they bought him from a sister club under City Football Group. But that's a story for another day. You see the trend here? A pretty clever process. This way, even if you sell an academy player who is considered a hot prospect, the young player hasn't played enough to court the attention of fans just yet. Therefore, you don't face the wrath from fans when you sell him. And in addition, you make a tidy profit, which allows you to make marquee signings that will in turn make fans happy. Imagine City selling Cole Palmer, assuming he had performed for City the way he did in his first season at Chelsea. Obviously, there would have been chaos from the fans. That being said, should this trend continue for a long time, one club man will become a rare commodity. More importantly, this goes to show how ineffective some of these financial regulations are in football. The perspective of league executives is that they want to keep clubs financially healthy enough to compete. But from the club's perspective, they need to spend more to stay competitive. A vicious cycle of money-begetted success is crippling clubs financially. There's just too much to lose if you don't stay competitive at the highest level. The cost of being relegated from the Premier League is well over £100 million. Piling up regulations upon regulations will not stop clubs from finding clever ways to spend when nothing caps the inflation in the transfer market.